Alright, so here's kind of the basic things. This is review. You don't need to write this down. This is stuff that we've actually already kind of talked about through the previous chapters. You know, the whole section is the development of the atomic theory. Yes, the word is theory. Theory is you have a bunch of experiments and tests that support this. But if the new test comes along, then we have to change our idea. Alright, so this is a theory. The theory is that the atom is the smallest particle into which an element can be divided and still be the same substance. So basically, if I have a chunk of gold and I'm dividing it into smaller and smaller pieces, the smallest piece that I can still call gold is an atom. Now, can I take the atom and break that apart? Yeah, but then it's not an atom anymore. Then it's not gold. Then it's protons, neutrons, electrons. It's not gold. Alright? Atoms make up elements. That was part of the last section. Atoms make up all matter and are called the building blocks of matter. Textbooks really like this phrase, building blocks of matter. They use it talking about atoms. They also use the phrase building blocks of life when they're talking about cells. Tell me, which one's bigger, a cell or an atom? A cell is bigger, by far. Cells are made up of atoms. Yeah.
Can you see a cell with your naked eye?
Some of them.
Like a skin cell?
Some of them. You're off topic though. Our first old dead guy is an ancient Greek named Democritus. Please say his name.
Democritus.
Thank you. Alright? Democritus is a particular thing called a philosopher. He is not a scientist. He is a philosopher. A philosopher doesn't do experiments. The whole concept of a philosopher is the idea that we are people. We are the most intelligent thing that has been made so far. And if we think hard enough, we can figure it out. That's it. Just thinking. No. But it's 440 BC. Okay? No, these are smart people. But they're pretty low on the ladder. Does that make sense? So, these guys are philosophers. The idea of science and experimenting things hasn't been invented yet. So they're on the ladder below where science is. Okay? Yeah.
How do you say his name again?
Democritus. Alright? His idea, his contribution to the atom,
Oh my gosh.
here's a sculpture, is the idea, he sat down and he was thinking, because, you know, he's a philosopher, which means he's a thinker. Alright? So, he sits there and he goes, I wonder, if I have a chunk of something, and I cut it in half, then I cut it in half, and then half, and then half, and half, and half, and half, and half, and half, and half.
It's going to be the same thing.
Eventually, I should get to a piece that I can't cut anymore. The smallest piece. The smallest piece. This is a great idea. I shall call it the uncuttable piece. What? Yeah, well, you know. I didn't say it was imaginative. I just said that, you know, he was a philosopher. He wrote a little book about it. He wrote a little book about it, talking about his little uncuttable pieces. He was Greek, so the book was in Greek. And uncuttable piece in Greek means atom.
That's so funny.
Isn't that great?
Oh, yeah. That makes me laugh.
So his lack of imagination turns into our vocab word.
Hey, great. Get it.
Woo! Alright? His lack of imagination becomes our vocab word because atom, or actually atomos, is uncuttable in Greek. Indivisible. Alright? So, his idea was that the atoms are always moving, and they can combine and hook up and form compounds and stuff. His idea was also that they were all different shapes and sizes. So like the atoms of cheese would be different from the atoms of horseshoes, which would be different from the atoms of like a heart. When I think of Democritus's model for the atom, my imagination comes up with Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms. Well, I'm not talking about eating them. I'm talking about purple horseshoes, stars, hearts, rainbows, balloons.
Rabbits.
All little tiny pieces. If you wait long enough, because you would in my house, they get hard. Hard little tiny pieces. Okay? So his idea was like if I had a balloon would be made of tiny, tiny little pieces that look like little balloons. If I had a horseshoe, it would be tiny, tiny pieces looking like a horseshoe. If I had a Devon and were to cut him open, he'd be made of tiny, tiny little Devons. Let's not.
Let's do it.
Let's see. So, this is Democritus' idea. The small uncuttable piece. There's a problem. Aristotle, not one of our dead guys. Aristotle is a roadblock. He found a problem with it. No? Let me talk to you about Aristotle for a second. Control. Self-control. Aristotle is the rock star of his time. He's still a philosopher. He's not doing any tests. But he is a rock star. Because he is in your English textbook. He is in your science textbook. He is in your math textbook. He is in your social studies textbook. We still quote Aristotle. We still talk about things Aristotle discovered. Aristotle is in fiction books. Aristotle is a rock star. He is the Einstein of his time. He is the Einstein of his time. Aristotle believes that everything is made up of water, fire, dirt, air, and ether.
What ether?
It's like the stuff your soul's made out of.
Oh.
Now,
This element. Idea of alchemy.
4, 3. Democritus is kind of ordinary by comparison. Think about this. In our time, when we're thinking about scientific rock stars, we think about Einstein, Hawking, all right, Edison. These guys are rock stars. Now let's say I have an idea. And Einstein thinks that my idea is rubbish. So, who's the average person who doesn't have any time to do the research going to believe? Einstein or a science teacher from Iowa?
Einstein.
Baloney. They're going to believe Einstein. I don't care if Einstein is wrong and I'm right. If I disagree with Einstein, they're going to believe Einstein. Baloney. Baloney. You would believe Einstein in a heartbeat. Why? He's a rock star. He is in every single stinking textbook you so wouldn't believe me. Aristotle was not believed. They thought he was a nut job. I'm sorry, you're right. Democritus. They thought he was a nut job. He had little claws. They called themselves atomists. They thought it's like, woohoo. It's like the people now that like think the world is flat. We think they're kind of woohoo. Same thing. All right. So Democritus is ignored. he is ignored until the 1800s. Here is the little song for Democritus. I am so going to make you sing. I'm going to start. I like to sing. 5, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to sing it all the way. Then I'll sing a line, you sing a line, and then we'll sing it all the way. Democritus's atom's smallest piece could not be cut, and each atom has different like lucky charms that I eat up. The atom, its history is long, but without these old dead guys, the chemistry is gone. Alright. Democritus's atom's smallest piece could not be cut. Okay. Was different like lucky charms that I eat up. The atom, its history is long, but without these old dead guys, the chemistry is gone. Let's try it one more time. Democritus's atom's smallest piece could not be cut, and each atom was different like lucky charms that I eat up. The atom, its history is long, but without these old dead guys, the chemistry is gone. On Tuesday, when we come back to class, we'll talk about Dalton and why we didn't find out about anything else until 1803.
Yeah.
Wow.